Okay, today on Cabal Cast, we're going to be Command & Conquer 3 Kane's Draft to do a 2 versus 2 video commentary. This replay was uploaded a couple of days ago, and in 36 hours, it's got 3 wubs, so it kind of needs a VOD here. All these players are pretty much in the mid-card area. Maybe Sphinx is a little bit higher up than that, but yeah, this is pretty much all a mid-card game. We have Executive playing as Random, and his partner Lock and Fire is playing as GDI on Team 1 and Team 2. It's going to be Sphinx and his partner YourHorse. So looks like these players are hopefully going to give us a good game here. We have an observer here. I never heard of him before. So let's get this match going on Forgotten Forest. So over here we have Orange. This is probably Sphinx. Yeah, Sphinx. He's playing as Orange GDI and his partner Horse playing as the blue GDI. And scroll over to the left side here, we see this is Skrin. This is Executive. He's playing as the Skrin faction. He's playing as Skrin Vanilla. And his partner, Lock and Fire, also playing as the GDI forces. So it's going to be 3 GDI and Skrin in this game here. So we obviously going to be seeing Executive is going to be going for 2 assimilators to the north and south of the tip spikes. Is Sphinx going to do the exact same thing with his own engineers. Going to be going and scouting with his Rifleman Squad scouts here. So we're going to be seeing what kind of engagements out here. We'd like the Executive trying to sneak a bunch of squad to the top half of the map here, see if we can get an engineer, but that's not going to work. Sphinx is too quick for that. Sphinx is probably the better player out of all of them here. Maybe him and Executive are probably the same, because I haven't seen any of these players play. I don't know who Lock and Fire or Horse is. I haven't seen them before, but Sphinx I do know. I played with him quite a bit, and Executive I played with him a little bit too. So bottom half of the map here, looks like the Horse has got the guessable structure right here as well, and this is Lock and Fire's got the other bunker here. So all these players are just scouting across the map, doing everything in standard. We see people coming out from Lock and Fire, and he's just going to go straight to the other side of the base here to see if he can scout Sphinx and Horse. And Sphinx has got another Rifleman Squad scout. He's spending a lot of money on anti-scouting, Lock and Fire and Executive, which is pretty good, but then he's just going to be a little bit behind and getting his refinery up. Horse obviously has got his refinery, so he's doing a pretty standard build order, and he's a little bit stalled on cash right now because he's probably spent a lot of money on scouts. Another refinery up from Sphinx, and he's going to be scouted immediately by Lock and Fire's Pitbull, and just going to be doing a quick proton prod of these harvesters, not doing too much damage because of the harvesters right near the refinery. So he's going to, or the war factory, so he's going to get free repairs. And now the Pitbull's going to be going straight down into Horse expansion. Horse is going to be expanding with his own MCV, and Lock and Fire is doing the exact same thing. What Executive, what are you doing, buddy? You are 4 and 2 on your field. You're going to be getting another harvester from your warp sphere. Is anybody going for the blue tib? Yes, no, not just yet. The blue tib probably has enough for a full load of for a harvester, but a lot of people just go for the green for the blue tip field early. A little bit of damage on the MCV right now from Horse, and it's not very good from him. So he has to build an engineer to get that construction area back up to full health, but he's repairing it, and that's not what you need to do. You do not repair the construction area. That'll take forever. It'll make much more sense to build a barracks and an engineer to repair that construction immediately. But like I said before, these players are pretty much all mid players, so they don't know the pro strats just yet. Executive is going to be going for a Gunwalker Scout, and he's sitting into the bottom half of the map here, as well as a Harvester. So Lock and Fire has got his construction area ready to go, and a nice placement there by Extractor, which means that he's going to be avoiding a lot of confrontation with a lot of Harvesters that are going to be under attack. And I like this placement here. If you're against a not faction, and not factions try to go for like a one-click, it's going to be missing that Extractor. Speaking of which, this is patch 1.2 plus R11, not R12. Not sure why the player's not playing on the R12 patch, but this is our R11 patch. A little bit of a Harvester harassment there. One Pitbull Scout from Horse is going to be going through the base of Lock and Fire and just looking around to see what he can find. And he does see that there's some secret tanks coming out from Executive here. Executive loves to build these secret tanks. I played with him a couple times before in tournaments, and he loves to play these sprint factions, and he loves to go for secret tanks. So he's going to be going for those type of things, and he has an Extractor on this field right here. He's got 4 and 2. He's going to make it 5 and 2. So Executive is on top of things. He has a lot of refinery going. He's going to be, and Lock and Fire, his partner, is going to go for some Predator tanks as well. He have power down the barracks, and he's going to get. He's got 4 and 1 in this field, which is not the proper ratio. He needs another refinery to make it perfect ratio. Orchestrate coming in, and it does get that Harvester on the deck, but it doesn't do any damage. Sphinx, meanwhile, has a tier 2 up with his AP ammo and his airfield, so we could be getting some hammerheads coming off from Sphinx. That's pretty good. And Horsey is going to be going for an AP ammo himself, or a command post at least. He doesn't have any AP ammo just yet. And we see a small contingent of forces right here. Sphinx has got his Predator tanks, and Horse has got pit bulls with a couple of hammerheads in support. So it's going to be a little bit of an attack here by our right side team towards the left side team. The left side team is definitely getting prepared for this. The AA battery is out now from Executive, and he's going for some Devour tanks, and the charge does not work for some strange reason. The Harvester must clean up that green tib before he got the charge up, which is not good. So these Devour tanks are going to be defending the space right here, and a nice snipe off there by that Harvester from Horse has got Executive down one Harvester. And now the Predator tanks are going to be down below here, attacking the Secret tanks, and another Warp Sphere by Executive is going to be pushing the Predator tank force back. Those hammerheads are going to be doing a whole lot of damage because of the AA batteries that Executive has to be good for him. And the Secret tanks, I'm not sure if Executive is at tier 2. I don't see a nerf center just yet, so he could definitely go for some tier 2, but he's pushing out a little too far right now. These Devour tanks are going to get destroyed by those hammerheads from Sphinx. And Sphinx plays a lot of GDI. He plays probably the most GDI out of anybody that I played with. And he knows what to do with GDI, so he's destroyed a couple of Secret tanks here from Executive, and he's just keeping Executive inside his base while they tech up, and this is causing Sphinx to get more economy on his field. He just has 3 and 2, which is not that great. He should transfer all his Harvesters because his green tib has all been harvested, and Horus is just to clean up his green tib as well. But actually, Sphinx is here too, and a little bit of a weird refining place in here, but he dropped down a combat support airfield. I haven't seen this in a while. And the benefit about this is that there's doesn't cause a desync, so that's going to be pretty good in the patches. Now that require you can build an airfield or combat support airfield, no need to build an actual airfield, just its own desync. And we see a lot of Predator tanks here from Lock and Fire, so it's going to be pretty good for him and Sphinx, for him to push into Sphinx base. And obviously these Devour tanks are going to be causing some pretty good damage as well if they're charged up. And these Predator tanks are going to be poking in. And Sphinx is going to be causing a couple shots off first, but I think Lock and Fire is in a little bit better position. These Gunwalkers are going to be taking care of the hammerheads for Executive, and these hammerheads are kind of doing a whole lot of damage now. The Devour tanks from Executive are going to be doing a little bit of Harvester harassment. They do take out one Harvester from Sphinx, and now Sphinx is in a little bit of trouble. He lost quite a bit of his Predator tanks, and now he's going to call upon his partner to use some Shatter tanks and destroy a couple of these Predator tanks from Lock and Fire, and Light Spine's been placed down now. So a little bit of pretty good damage here coming out from the left side team. And we see a Sonic Emitter coming out from Horse, so this Sonic Emitter is going to be doing very, very good damage and just pushing back this force here from the left side team. And Executive is beaconing to his allies, saying they need to take that out immediately, otherwise the Predator tanks are going to be destroyed. And these hammerheads are doing as best they possibly can to try to avoid the Gunwalkers so they don't get sniped. And we see a Juggernaut coming out now from Horse, so that's pretty good. What's happening on the bottom half of the map here? We see a Predator tank with some missile squads from Lock and Fire going to be going straight towards the base of Horse, and Horse is going for a Record hub with a Marv, so that's going to be pretty good. He's teching up quite quickly, and he's helping Azala defend this quite a bit. But no Harvesters on this field here from Sphinx, and that's not very good. He needs to get more economy on this field, but needs to push this force back as far back as possible. And we see a drone support power coming in as well from Executive, just repairing up those Harvesters, and that's a very smart idea because those drones help repair friendly forces too. Now we see more Predator tanks coming out from Sphinx, and the Juggernauts on the back side of things are causing some pretty good damage for Horse as well. So this, the right side team is successfully defending the space right here, and that's pretty good. We see Lock and Fire is going to be going with his construction yard now. He has a lot of Predator tanks. I'm not sure if he's not going to go for... Yep, he's going to go for some railguns, so that's pretty good. Executive is going for an upgrade of himself. It could be shard launchers. I don't see any Secret tanks on the field just yet. I think he's just going to go for either shard launchers or force fields, but he's building up tripods right now, so I'm pretty sure he's going to go for force fields. And he has a hexapod on the field now with quite a bit of Gunwalkers too, so that's going to be very good. And we see some slingshots out now from Lock and Fire, so they're going to do very, very, very good damage against those hammerheads. Now Sphinx has to think up strategy. He has to think of something else. I don't think he has tier 3 yet. I haven't seen... Oh, there's a tech lab up there. He's not upgrading anything from his tech lab. He's going to go for some Juggernauts. So he Juggernauts of his own, and Horse is going to be coming up to this expansion down below here. And the Marv has just 3 railguns on it. It doesn't have a repair pod, which is not very good. And now railguns are coming in as well from Lock and Fire. I'm trying to take out that Marv, but I'm not too sure if this is a good idea. He can't really destroy this Marv unless he's going to be very lucky, but I think he's going to commit to it, and this Marv may be able to go down, and it's just going to be a couple more shots off as well to destroy it. Oh, but he did manage to destroy it. Oh, that's super close. He wasted all of those Predator tanks and didn't manage to destroy the Marv. So Horse has got a little bit lucky there. He has to get back to his Recommander hub, to his allies' Recommander hub, to repair up that Marv. And now he's getting to do some Juggernauts now. And Lock and Fire has to retreat to this base because he can't hope to defend this whatsoever. And a couple of plasma missile batteries here. They do have the shards on them, so that's going to be helpful in destroying these hammerheads from Sphinx. But Executive has been attacking this base up at the top here. Lots of gunwalkers here with tripods have destroyed Sphinx, and Sphinx is probably going to evacuate this base right here. Sorry, that was my phone again. And yeah, Lock and Fire is going to be losing more Predator tanks now. This Predator tank is veteran, so he needs to save that because that'll come in handy in the future. Lots of Juggernauts here from Horse, so that's going to be pretty good. He's defending this base pretty well. He's actually have a lot of Tiberium in this field. I want to see what everybody's money is at now. Executive is at $0. Lock and Fire has 500. Sphinx has over 6,000, and Horse has over 14,000. So he needs to spend a lot of his money and build a lot more because when players have a lot of Tiberium at their disposal, they just don't know what to do with it. And he needs to build a lot more. I mean, he could be going for some mammoth. He could go for some mammoth tanks, I would say, and/or Firehawks, because then that would catch him out of position right there. But now Executive is going to be destroying the rest of the top base here from Sphinx, and Sphinx is going to lose his tier 3 tech ladder, so that's not going to be very good. He's going to be going back on tier 2. And this field now is under control of our left side team, so Lock and Fire can be placing down now some refineries on his allies' face right now. And we see a shockwave artillery coming in, but that was not a good shot there. Oh, that actually was a good shot because he does have some forces reinforcing here, but I think that was a little bit too late. Excuse me. Because now, yep, the hexapod is phased, and it's probably going to be transported back to base. These Juggernauts from Sphinx and Horse are going to be doing a lot of damage now. That Marv has 2 zone troopers in it, doesn't have anything to repair it. So Sphinx needs to be very careful to keep that Marv alive. Now, Executive could be in a little bit of trouble here. He doesn't have a Mastermind, so that's going to be very good, but he doesn't have any Devastator warships, because then he can't do artillery fire as Scrim without Devastator warships. Confrontation down here, we see Horse has got a couple of pit bulls here, destroying some harvesters from Lock and Fire, and Lock and Fire did lose one of his harvesters in the nice line formation of the battery batteries here. That's kind of funny. Expecting those hammerheads to come by soon after, and Horse has got a lot of economy on this field, as I mentioned that he has a lot of money, so he can spend quite a bit on it on a lot of stuff. He does have a bunch of zone troopers, and they do have scanner packs, which is amazing. Then he can put them inside the hammerheads, and then you have amazing vision. He's going to increase his Marv by putting 4 railguns instead of a repair pod. So that's going to be very good. He has a bunch of zone troopers in it. So he's spending a lot of money on zone troopers. And he has Predator tanks with the railguns in it. And they're attacking Lock and Fire's base down here. And he's going to be doing a ton of damage with his railguns. And there's not a whole lot of defenses down here. And there's a lot of tech here from our left side team. So this could be very bad for them. They could be losing a lot of harvesters and a lot of infrastructure down here. Because now there's a lot of zone troopers out here. And zone troopers are amazing at destroying anything in their wake, and they can even take a sonic emitter shot as well. Now sonic emitter just popped up by Lock and Fire and only managed to do 1 shot before it gets absolutely murdered. And Lock and Fire Executive launched a Buster Storm Super Power, doesn't do a whole lot of damage to those zone troopers. So now this force here is free to destroy all this infrastructure, and Lock and Fire and Executive are going to be forced to sell off a bunch of their stuff and rebuild their base up here. But that Marv goes down now by Sphinx, and he's going to be a little bit of trouble right now. He has to pack up his MCV and force it to go to deeper terrain, so that there's another tripods which do have the force fields on them with the corruptors. They do manage to get taken out now, so that hexapod needs to be very careful it doesn't get destroyed by Sphinx. And now the construction yard is forced to deploy now because he can't hope to escape it from these another tripods. The another tripods are going to get jumped by those Juggernauts now, and Horse is doing an amazing job of cleaning up the rest of the another tripods. So now they do get emped by the Emp Grenaders as well. So a lot of tripods are going to go down now by Executive. That was not a good attack. He did manage to push back Sphinx, and he did manage to destroy his MCV. But at the same time, he did manage to lose a ton of tripods. And now that Horse is just going to destroy them. He doesn't want to capture them as well. These gunwalkers finishing up the rest of the Grenadiers, which do have the grenades on them. This whole base has been taken out now, so the left side team is losing their expansion and their main base, and all they have left is their top base. I think Lock and Fire has lost his MCV. I don't see it anywhere on the map here. But yeah, I think he's just running out of options. He doesn't have any. I don't think he has an MCV or any production structure to speak of. He just has those 2 refineries, so he could be giving all his stuff to Executive, and Executive has to fight a 2v1 now, which is pretty bad because now Lock and Fire has been defeated. So he gave all this stuff to Executive. Executive should be rolling in the credits now. He has quite a bit of Tiberium left on this field to harvest, and his Hexapod is still alive, so that's going to be very good. But he still has to deal with his Predator tanks force from Horse, and one of his Predator tanks is elite, so that's going to be very good. And a lot of these Predator tanks, I'm just throw out my health bars here. Oops, nope, I don't want to do that. My bad. Sorry. There we go. So now we see all these Predator tanks. A lot of them, oh, there's a couple of them that are elite, and a lot of them are veterans. So, wow, there's three elite. So that's a lot of potential damage here from YourHorse. And now he has to repair him though. But artillery bombardment and shockwave artillery coming in, and it manages to shut down that Marv though. That was probably a misclick. And the Hexapod goes down, and now Horse is just going to be free range to destroy the rest of Executive's base. Executive is going to be definitely still sending up all his forces here, and that's going to be the end of the game. So YourHorse and Sphinx are going to come out for the win there. I'm not going to say it was one-sided. It wasn't quite one-sided, but it was mostly in the favor of YourHorse and Sphinx for the majority of the game anyway. So unit scrap, you can see the unit scrapped here, and the structures is right here. Resources right here. Executive had the most resources, obviously, and the stats. So Team 1 was Lock and Fire and Executive 294,440 to Team 1, and Team 2 at 280,664 to Team 2. So only $10,000 more in favor of Team 1 for Team 2. All right, so there's a game on Forgotten Forest. My name's Cabal, and I'll see you guys next time.